Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. I always feel so professional when we start, right? We're going to be talking about conversations, connecting, and getting people to commit. And I know I talked to a lot of coaches at Summit that were there and have a lot of new coaches in the team, and I see what you guys are asking questions about in the team page, and I'm like always trying to figure out what I feel is needed to talk about on these calls. And this is something that I definitely feel probably majority of people struggle with. So if you are struggling with this, you are not alone. It's completely normal. So I just wanted to first start out and say you are no different than anybody else when you're starting out and when you're struggling with this. When I started, I had like 175 Facebook friends, and I didn't even know what Instagram was. I did teach fitness classes, but like one of those customers converted over for me. So that wasn't a market for me or, a client pool that I tapped into. My customer base has come from me sharing my stories and people reaching out to me and then having those real conversations that get them to trust and feel comfortable moving forward with me. I was nervous too, just like all of you. I'm going to touch on a lot of topics tonight that I think will probably hit home for all of you. And just know you're not alone. And I really want you to be clear on that this is normal. And I think if you can get a couple key points, like if you can get past it mentally, you'll feel better moving forward, because we're not selling here, we're sharing. And if you feel like you're selling, it's not going to work ever. People won't be buying. Just think about, I was in a store the other day and the saleswoman was like, so imagine like when you go to a retail store and you like bring like 3 things into the fitting room and you're trying them on and they're like bringing you 10 more things. Try this on, try this on, try this on. At some point you're just like, like I don't want any of it because it's pushy, right? So that's what we don't want to do here. So let's start off. You guys get that you need to share your story. Never post stock photos. Never post your link to your website. That is like, just don't do it. If you've done it in the past, it's okay. It's okay. Not a big deal. But don't do it going forward. If you want to post about Country Heat, don't take the Country Heat stock photo. Take that photo, but put it into a picture of you pointing at the Country Heat photo. It's something about you. This is about you, and people are connecting with you, not the picture of Autumn with her amazing body dancing. Okay? They're not going to connect to that. They want to hear you and your story. So let's say you do this amazing post, your call to action post, or even a post that you get people liking and commenting on your stuff that they're interested. The first thing I want you to do, and write this down, is I want you to make a list of those people. Have a list of your likes and have a list of your comments, right? And those are your people that you should be following up with. For a long time, I never reached out to people that liked my photos. I would only reach out to people that commented on my photos and said, I'm interested, or I want to learn more. I just thought, oh, they're liking it, that's fine. And honestly, you guys, it probably was close to 2 years before I did that. Started reaching out to these likers. And it has changed my business since I started doing that. And it's about how you approach them. So when you have this list and you have these people that comment interested, this is where things start to go, maybe you start to go down the wrong path. So you have someone that says, I'm interested, you're doing the 21-day fix, interested. So you write them. And I hear coaches say all the time that they're like, they almost word vomit on the people with all the information about why the 21-day fix is so amazing and why they have to have the program. But I want you to stop And I don't want you to do that. And I want you to realize that this process of connecting with the customer or with your future client is going to take a while. Okay? It's going to be a lot of back and forth. So I want to talk about fear, which I mentioned a little bit earlier. Fear of selling. You guys, we are not selling. We are sharing. I honestly I've worked a lot of hours at this business, and never 1 minute have I ever felt like I'm selling something to someone. I'm not selling it. I'm offering this amazing opportunity, and if they don't want it, that's totally fine. Like, because there'll be others that do, and guess what? Eventually they'll come back and they will, and they want it. But I want you to take the word selling out of your vocabulary completely. Sales, selling, I feel salesy, none of that. If you feel that way, we're going to kind of break down why you might feel that way. So I want you to be if you're feeling that way, I want you to be honest with yourself. What is your belief about these products and the programs? Are you a product of the product? Are you doing the daily workouts? Are you following a plan? Not just any workout, whatever, but are you following a program start to finish? Are you drinking your Shakeology? Are you following the meal plans? Because we all know that's key. Mm-hmm. And then are you getting results? Because if you're doing those things, program, Shakeology, meal plan, you're going to get results. No question about it. And if you're getting results, you should believe, like, in your core that these programs work. And if you have customers that come to you and you get them to buy into this completely and follow the plan and they're getting results, then it's even more reason that there's not a doubt in your mind that these programs work. You can look at the test groups, you can see the before and afters. They work. So it's not It's not a scam. It's not a gimmick. That was my mix. I just combined those two words together. It works. And Carl at Summit, one of his times he was talking, he came out on stage and he had this table and it was covered with a black tablecloth, and he went on and on, and it was kind of like a joke a little bit. He was showing all of these things that have come out in the past, exercise related, that have been the thing that's going to change exercise, right? And he showed the Thigh Master. And he was joking at how many of those ended up in garage sales. And he showed what? The shake weight, right? Okay. He showed, what else was it? There was one that was like, it was this belt you put around your stomach, and it said you don't even have to do anything. You're just going to get abs by just sitting there wearing this belt, right? And so it was like all these things that have been put out there that don't work. The shake weight is not going to make you, maybe you'll get some biceps, I guess. I don't know. But who wants to do that all day? But so then he's like, we have it. We have the thing that works. It's the complete package. It's got everything. And we were like, it's a new program. And he pulls the tablecloth off, and it's a challenge pack. That's what it is. And it's like, he's right. It is the total package. And where else can someone go that they are going to get, even if they hire a personal trainer? Very rarely do they give them a meal plan. And if they do, it's usually something probably really crazy and hard to follow. Or they have to weigh their food or something. So this truly is something that can change somebody's life. And I know you guys have all experienced it. I see a hand up. Rochelle, what is you're raising your hand to me. You have a question?
Yes, because each workout comes with their own meal plan. So do you follow those specifically, or can you just stick with the 21-day fix, like color containers?
Well, a lot of the new programs, thank you for raising your hand. I like that new feature. Did you guys see that? That's really cool. It shows like a little bar on she's not really raising her hand. It shows like a little bar, like hand raised. So when the 21-day fix came out, Rochelle's a newer coach, that's when the containers started. And most of the programs have the containers that are part of it. Some come with them and some don't. So for example, Max 30, you don't get the containers. But if you read the book, it talks about the containers. So that's always something really important to think about when you are talking to someone about what program they're going to move forward. I like to start people with the 21-day fix or even extreme if they're more athletic and, you know, just trying to really lean out even more, because they get the containers with that. And so, yes, then the meal plans, like the meal plans that we have in the team pages, those aren't necessarily container specific, only because everybody falls in different categories. So to say, you know, put a meal plan together that fits for somebody in column A and column D is hard. So they just kind of have to measure out themselves. The meal plans are pretty general, and the ones that we have really would work with everything. There is a hammer and chisel specific meal plan that breaks down every column. We all pitched in to have that written by somebody, and I don't love it. I think it's kind of confusing. But they have in their books, we'll tell them their containers and where they, you know, what they should be eating and all that for each program. But if a program doesn't come with containers, they can buy those separately also on the website. I think they're like $18 or something like that.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Kind of. Well, yeah, I think so. I'm starting P90X3, so I'm wondering if I could just continue with the colored containers.
Yes.
Okay.
Continue with your 21-day fixed meal plan. That meal plan will work for everything. And then, like, if you want to be more extreme in that, you can follow the extreme plan, which, like, you know, no dairy, no treats, no wine, no chocolate, that sort of thing. Like Autumn, she said when she was here in Phoenix last time that she pretty much follows a 21-day fixed meal plan majority of the time because she likes to have her little treats here and there. So, and that's kind of what I've done since I started doing 21-day fix as a customer and not in a challenge group for 4 months. When I became a coach, I started with P90X3 and followed that meal plan. So yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Yes, honey. Come on, I'm on a call. Sorry, guys. No, you can't have nail polish for school. No navy blue nail polish. Just go. You're gonna get in trouble if Daddy knows you're in here. Okay. Where were we? Okay. So, if you're not confident, if you're not being a product of the product, and you're not confident in like the way you're living your life, then and really being truthful about it, and that's maybe why you're not feeling as confident. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's never been a doubt in my mind that these programs don't work. Now, I have to say, before Country Heat came out, there's a little doubt in my mind that program was a little cheesy, right? And it wasn't going to work. And I was like, this is a little gimmicky. You guys, have you tried it yet?
No.
I am obsessed. This is the craziest thing. This is, sorry, a total tangent. If you haven't tried it, you guys need to try it. And I was so afraid I do weights all the time and all this, of just dancing. I did the countdown to competition plan, 21 days, and I ate like so much protein. I didn't want to look at protein again, and I lost 2 pounds. I'm on day 4 of Country Heat, and I've lost 4 pounds. And I don't have that much weight to lose, you guys. That program, it works. My husband's like, maybe it's because you're having fun. You're having fun. But it works. And if you're not talking about it and you haven't tried it, I want you to be open to it. So sorry, that was just a side tangent. And it has now had a bigger launch than the 21-day fix when it originally launched. So that's a market for you. I'm talking about it a lot in my posts, but it's a market for you. Anyways, so never doubt a program. Trust that what Beachbody puts out, they've tested it, it works, it's good. Okay, I talked about this in my Zoom I did last week. What is your vibe attracting? So if you even slightly believe that there isn't a great value that will come out of the challenge packs, you need to stop. Like, I know $140 is a lot of money, but you guys, when you compare it to what they are, what their options are out there, it's so small. And for me, when I used to teach fitness classes, I would see these women coming to class 7 days a week and working out for an hour and getting no results because they didn't have the food part and they didn't have the, the shake to cut out their gross breakfast that they were eating. And so they weren't getting results. But this is the total package. So you need to get out of your head that you have to sell something to them. You are sharing. I love Tony Robbins. And Tony Robbins says, if you are in your head, you're dead. So think about it. Be in your heart, not in your head. Believe in the products. Share it from your heart. Don't ever think that you're trying to sell this person, because if they don't buy, it's okay. It's okay. You move on. And if someone doesn't buy from me or isn't ready, that's totally fine. I'm here to support you. I run groups every month. When you're ready, I'm ready to help you. That's my response to people. No big deal. Okay. Good. I already checked that off. I talked about something earlier on. Okay, so we were going to make a list of the potentials and everyone that has liked or commented on your post. Now, before you respond back to those people, this is going to take a little time, but I want you to go to their page. It's really easy on Facebook, right? You can go to your likes. You can see all your likes. Click on their page. Go over there and just take a minute and scroll through their page. See what they're about. See if they're home with their kids. See how old their kids are. See if they just went on vacation. If they're working, get some points that you can connect with them on. Things that can be conversation points. You are going to want, when you talk to them, you are going to want to be interested in them versus them be interested in you. Okay? So, I'm sorry. Interested in them versus being interesting to them or being interested in you. Same thing. This is going to be a little different if this person isn't somebody that you know. So when you get to the point that you start maybe on Instagram, it's a stranger, or you're running Facebook ads. Like for me, in my business right now, most of my new customers are complete strangers who I have zero contact with in the past. I think it's a little bit easier when you know people from the past because you can connect and there's a trust there. So you want to think about your conversations in those two different types of conversations. So if it's someone you don't know, it's even more important that you take time to build the relationships with them. So that means you're back and forth and your questions with them. It's going to be more before you get to the point where you're like, here's how you order, okay? You're going to respond to them by connecting to something that they have going on in their life. Mention that. Ask them a couple questions about it. Maybe their kids just went back to school. Mention a vacation, something else they posted about on their page, a motivational quote, something to show that you have seen what they're doing and what's going on in them, and you're interested. If there isn't anything there to connect with, then maybe, like I had people reach out. I had a girl reach out to me the other day that I was friends with in high school, and I have not talked to her since then. And so, my connection was back, like some memory or some funny thing that happened in high school. So anything just to form that like connection and emotion. And then in the next paragraph, you're going to ask them some really important questions. And you guys, I'm pretty sure this is in the template, in the team page, but I can share it in the thread below. But I always ask every single person that reaches out to me the same five questions. I'll talk slow if you want to write them down. I'll say, really quick, tell me what goals you are wanting to achieve. What, if anything, are you currently doing for exercise? How is that working for you? How is your nutrition? What are your biggest struggles? anything else you think is important, I know. Okay. When you ask them those questions, sometimes it's going to take them a little while to respond. Like a lot of times I see they've looked at it and I don't get a response till the next day. Because they want, I mean, those are some serious questions, you know, to think about. And so we have a question, Janelle. Oh, she's like, I don't know how to.
Sorry. Okay. I like don't post that much on Facebook yet. But like most of my posts are like pretty big. So when I do them, like they get a lot of traction. And then people don't like necessarily message me saying like, hey, I was wondering if you could help me. It's more so like, tell me about the 21-day fix. So then like I have found that like none of my conversations, like most of them haven't like started with like connecting and like asking them those goals kind of questions, because it seems like I'm taking a step back and like ignoring their first question, which is they just want to know about the fix.
Well, I think that it kind of depends on your relationship, like we talked about. So there are some people that like, if they're your close friends, you can just, it's comfortable going there right away. And so that's where you kind of have to decide, you know, what's the right approach here. And I have this in the back of my notes, but it's like, ask yourself the question before you send the message. After you've typed it all out, how would I feel if I asked that question, or if I was interested and this was the response I was getting back? So just like kind of a gut check on yourself. Like, would I feel like all she wants to do is make the sale? Because even if they're interested in the 21-day fix, like I run an ad that is the 21-day fix extreme promo video. And I ask the people in the ad to comment interested, if they're interested. So every single person has said, yes, I'm interested in that program. But I still don't send them the information. I ask them, I say, hey, thanks for reaching out. I love connecting with people via social media, and I ask these 5 questions. Because I need to evaluate if that's the right program for them in the first place. And so then when they write back to me and say, oh, you know, where are my questions at? They'll say, you know, hey, I need to lose 10 pounds. My nutrition is horrible. Or let me give you another option, because that's somebody that would be perfect for the 21-day fix. But you say, they're like, hey, I'm going to the gym 3 or 4 times a week. I'm just not getting the results I want. You know, my nutrition is pretty good. Like I eat healthy. But, you know, my biggest struggles are I've just kind of plateaued. And so then that person, I can kind of think, okay, they're already pretty physically fit. They just need to dial in their nutrition. And, you know, maybe extreme would be better for them because they're already a healthy eater. So just, and I feel like asking these questions kind of puts you in that position of, you know, you're a coach, you're knowledgeable. You want to get to know what what their needs are, and you want to make sure you best meet their needs. And so after they respond back to me with those questions, the answers to the questions, I always say, I ask these questions because I want to make sure what I'm recommending for you is the right fit. So I don't think that necessarily, like I said, if it's your best friend, easy, go ahead, tell them how much you love it. But I think asking the questions is just to figure out if it's right for them. You know, because I've had lots of people write back and say they have injuries, you know, and they can't jump, or back pain, or, you know, whatever. And so I might recommend something different. And then also it's great to say, I always recommend people start with the 21-day fix for this, and this reason, which I'm going to kind of go into here. All right, let me find my notes here. Did that answer your question, Janelle? Good? Okay. Okay, so when they respond, you're going to be a listener. You're not going to word vomit on them. Now, I've heard a lot of coaches say they'll ask these questions, and then when people write back, they just, this is how you order, this is how much it is, whatever. I don't even talk about Shakeology yet with the people. All of my conversation is about the program. Now, I might, if they really say that nutrition is an issue or time is an issue for them, I might bring in Shakeology a little bit at this point. But right now, we're just talking about the program. So don't word vomit on them. on how to order the program, price, and your website. This is a process, and this is going to take some time and some back and forth. That is how the relationship and the trust is formed. And like I said, think about you as a consumer. What makes you want to buy from someone? Now that you have their problems and their you know, what they want to achieve, you're going to offer them solutions for each of those problems. So you're going to connect and relate to their problems, talk about your experiences with the program, with your story, and tell them how this is the solution for their problems. So, for example, hold on, I might have copied and pasted this one in here. For example, I get a lot of people say, like, I need help. Everybody needs help with their nutrition. I needed help with my nutrition when I started this program. So then you go into, you know, a paragraph like, I was the same way. My nutrition was, you know, I thought I ate healthy, but I didn't. I was eating way too much fruit, not enough protein, not enough veggies, and let's be honest, way too many carbs. And so once I learned how to eat the proper amounts, everything changed. And I have been able to follow this plan, which I always say to them, it's not a diet. This is not something, this is like teaching. This will teach you how to eat the proper way for your body. It's healthy. You're hitting all the food groups. You're not depriving yourself of anything, not even wine, right? You can drink your wine or your cocktails. I mean, there's cocktail drinks or mixes, recipes in the workout books, in the meal plan books. So, you know, it's something, this is long term. And I think I hear from a lot of people all the time, well, if 21 days, what do I do when the 21 days is over? And then you, again, like I did the 21-day fix for 4 months before I was ready to move on to something that was a little more challenging. And I always say, when you get to that point, you and I will reevaluate and do this again. So you're showing yourself as that coach, right? Someone that knows what they're talking about. And you guys, when I started out, I didn't know what I was talking about either, okay? Like, you kind of fake it till you make it. And if you don't know what to say, and you're not sure, write in the team page, and someone will help you with that. And be honest too. You can say, you know, I'm not sure. Let me find out. That's all right too. I know I've said this before too. Feel, felt, found. Write those 3 words down in like all caps because it's really, really important. And what that means is when you're talking to these people and you're responding back, I know how you feel, or I say a lot of times, I talk to so many women that have the same, you know, issues or problems as you. You know, we're all there, we're all busy. You relate to them. I felt the same way. They feel the same way. People want to fit in. They want to be part of a group. They want to feel like they're normal, not abnormal. What I have found is this. And so that's how you bring your story into this. You know, I talk about, you know, starting out and how, like I talked about with the food and how this has just been, you know, over time now, this is my way of life. I've found that this is really easy to follow, and I can get really good results. I have a girl I'm talking to tomorrow about coaching. She's like, by the way, she's young. By the way, I want to know how you look like that. I'm like, I'm a coach. I have to be accountable. Like, she's like, what's your diet? It's not a secret, right? We all have it. So we all have it right in front of us with these programs. So really think about that in your response. Feel, felt, found. Every time. That's how you're going to connect with them. Explain the benefits of the program. Explain the benefits of you being their coach, that you're there for them if they have a question, that they have the support of the challenge group. Like, we get what a challenge group is. People don't get what a challenge group is. They don't know what that means. They don't know what to expect. You're putting in a group with a bunch of strangers. You know what I mean? So You need to explain that stuff. Janelle, you have your hand up again. Was that by accident? Okay. I was like, I think she's back over there. All right. So this is, I don't write this all down. I can share this with you guys, but I just want to read something to you. This is someone that reached out to me that said she worked full time. She didn't really have time to work out. And I know that one of the questions at the end was, how do you handle the time objection? And so here's a perfect example of this. This lady had responded back to my 5 questions, okay? And she had said, 2 small children, works crazy hours, nutrition is bad. So thank you for all your information. Her name was Payal. I asked these questions because I want to find the perfect program for you to get the results you desire. Your struggles are so similar to so many women I talk to. We all seem to be stretched so thin, and making time for ourselves is always our last priority. All of the programs I recommend are 30 minutes, and you can do them at home. I actually love working out at home because it saves so much time. No driving to the gym, no putting the kids in childcare either. Sometimes my daughters actually hang out in the room when I work out and even join me. With your long work hours, I see that it would be really difficult to get to the gym. Okay? Now, it might have taken me a little bit of time to write that out, but once I wrote it, I copied and pasted that and saved it somewhere, which is something I'm going to touch on in just a minute. Because that is an objection you're going to hear over and over and over again. So that's something that I can reuse and tweak a little bit to the person I'm talking to. So I'm not rewriting that whole message every single time. Okay, and since I'm kind of on that tangent, or on that side note, I'm going to go off on a little tangent that was down on my list here, but it's Evernote. Are you guys familiar with Evernote? Okay, right? Evernote, EVERNOTE.com down. It's a website and it's an app. So you download the app on your phone and you set up an account online. It's free for 2 devices. So for me, I have it on my computer and then I have it on my phone. Evernote is like a notepad. I have a Mac, so like a notepad or a Word document on your computer. But whenever you update it, so if you update on your computer, it's going to update in your app too. If you update on your app, it's going to update on your computer. For me, I work from my phone a lot, all the time. But if I'm at my computer and I'm typing something up, I can, and I don't write it in Evernote most of the time. Most of the time I write it in a response to someone and then I go, oh, I'll use that again. And so I open a little tab. I can show you guys. Let me share my screen really quick. And I want you just to think about setting this up, what makes sense for you. I'm going to wait, hold on one second. So we give you guys all these templates in the team page, right? But they're in Google Doc drives, and you can't copy and paste when you're on your phone from the Google Docs. So this is your homework for this call, and it's going to take you a little bit of time, but it'll save you so much time in the end. Like, it changed my life when I started doing this. I want you to get Evernote, and then I want you to go through those files in the team section, in the team page, Boss Babes United, and you're going to find the scripts and the things that you like, because there's a lot in there, and they might not all sound like you. And I want you to copy them. You're going to have to be on your computer. You're going to copy them, and you're going to paste them into your Evernote in a format that makes sense to you. So I have one tab called IG responses. I have one tab that's Facebook ad responses. I have one tab that's, I'll show you, that's like recruiting.
Hey, Clara.
Recruiting post ideas, But the bottom line is it'll make sense to you. And so when, like for me, I have a situation come up, I know exactly where I have that stuff saved. It's kind of like your documents folder on your computer. Like, you guys know where everything's saved. Somebody else could go into your computer and have no idea the rhyme or reason of why you have everything, but you know where it is and why it's there. So I want you to set that up. and then start utilizing it. So I'm going to show you really quick. Share screen. All my old before and afters. Here we go. Okay, so it's really simple. If you're on here, I have things searched. So here are all my notes. Your notes is like if you have an iPhone, a notepad, right? No different. So if I wanted to do a new one, go right here. I title it Conversations with People. Okay. And then you just go down here and you type, whatever. So now it's right over here. Okay. The really cool thing about this, and this is how I can share this stuff with you, is you can share a link, copy a public link, and then it just copied it. I can paste that into anything, and then you guys can access and see my notes here. But I have a whole conversation. Somebody the other day wanted a shopping list on the way I do the 3-day refresh. I eat the same thing every single day. So I've done it so many times it's in my head. I literally sat here and typed it all up for him. And then I was like, you know what? Somebody else is going to want that. So I copied it into here, 3-day refresh. So I have it going forward. I have my welcome email to my new customers here. Promo video link. So when somebody wants to see a promo for 21-day fix, it's right here. Other posts I see coaches do that I like what they did and I want to, duplicate it. Save them into here. Facebook ads are right here. My IG responses. When I've typed up things kind of telling my story, which is something that you're going to want to do over and over again so you can reuse those. You guys get the idea. So it's all right here. And my favorite part about this is it is accessible wherever I am. I was at Disneyland last week and I sold challenge packs because I had my phone with Evernote, and when I'm standing in line for an hour at Disneyland, I literally can copy and paste, and it's that simple. Now, you got to make it your own, right? And you got to be specific to each person, but the brunt of the work is done. It's right there. And these are all there for you guys in the team page. So I feel like people aren't necessarily taking advantage of all that because it's not very user-friendly. But if you take the time, my Evernote has taken me, I've been probably doing that for over a year. So it's taken a really long time. And honestly, it's not that organized. I'll share with you guys, which I've shared with some of my coaches, my responses back and forth. They're in no sort of order. They're just as I write them, I copy and paste them. So then I can scroll through and find what works for what person. Okay. Back to the conversations. So people are going to respond with once you write back on that feel, felt, found, and you're talking about their issues, they're going to respond with their concerns and their questions. I haven't talked price yet. So at this point, they're like, okay, I'm interested. How much is it? Or, you've said something about the challenge pack and Shakeology is included. So I don't know about Shakeology. Now you're going to kind of go all through that feel, felt, found again. And that, I felt the same way about Shakeology. You guys, I didn't even buy it myself the first 4 months when I was a customer. I didn't buy into it till I was a coach. Now I'm obsessed. So I can say that. I can say, I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was anything special either. And then I realized I had to try it. And when I tried it, I was hooked and it changed my body. Like I got different results when I started drinking it. So again, telling those stories and making people feel comfortable. Hi, Brie, I'm almost done, okay? You can't paint your nails, honey. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Go ahead. So be confident in your conversations and what you have to offer. Don't give them options starting out. So don't say, if you want a challenge pack, there's this, or you can just buy the program. I always just lead with the challenge pack because like I said, it's the total package. It's going to give them everything they need to be successful. So Liz and I were talking about this earlier and she's like, I say to them, most of my girls in my group start with the 21-day fix challenge pack. There'll be some other people doing other programs that have moved on, but that's where people start because it's a good starting point. And then I always like to mention, after I've made that final recommendation to them, the 30-day money-back guarantee. Because that's so huge, you guys. People are hesitant, I think, more about Shakeology than they are about the programs. And so I always say to them, you're telling them why they're going to love it. I share the Shakeology from the Fields video very often. And that kind of gives a glimpse. Google it on YouTube or just Google Shakeology from the Fields. It'll pop up. It's Darren O'Lean showing the different ingredients and where they're sourced from. I talk about how Beachbody is so specific, in their ingredients, that there's nothing synthetic. For me, I can relate that I'm really picky about all organic and healthy food for myself and my family, and I would never promote something that I wouldn't give to my kids or to myself, and got my husband's stamp of approval on that. Because there's a lot of junk out there and a lot of garbage out there and a lot of other companies that are, and MLMs that are selling stuff, and they're not comparable because the ingredients are not good. It's full of garbage. So you just want to really, and I think that people are becoming more open to that, the organic, and mindful of what they're putting into their bodies. And so to know that this is Beachbody really, and if you I don't think some of you are at Summit, but I think you all should have left feeling like, they really care about this, about Shakeology, and really keeping it the best. So you just talk about setting them up for success with the challenge pack. And it's the ultimate package for everything. 30-day money-back guarantee. You don't like it, you can return it and get your money back. One other thing that I always go through with them is I ask if they have any issues with dairy or whey. And then when I actually make the recommendation, I will say, choose your flavor, or there's steps to order. I'll say, choose your flavor. Regular is whey, dairy-based. Some people don't even know what that means. And vegan is non-dairy. So just, you really want to educate them on that. And then always ask yourself, before you push send on any messages, stop, read it back to yourself, ask yourself, was it clear? Did I make sense? And how would I feel if I received that message? We talked about Evernote. Have your homework. There were a couple questions that people posted. Hold on 1 second. I took pictures of them, so I didn't have to go back to my phone here, or back to my computer. Okay, Carrie asked, how do you respond when the first thing they respond back to you is, she said, how is it free? And I'm thinking, I questioned her question because I wasn't sure exactly what she meant, that she didn't write back to me. I'm assuming her question is, how, like, is it free? Is the question, the group? And you guys can run your groups however you want. So if you're promoting a challenge and accountability group, when I started out, I did not require anybody to buy something to be a part of my group. I always would still go through this whole conversation back and forth with them and recommend the 21-day fix for them because of the results. But I did let them into my group without buying something. And I would say probably 95% of the time they ended up becoming a customer because they were in that group and they saw people getting results. And they were always curious about Shakeology. If they won a prize I used to do weekly prizes and monthly prizes. If they won a weekly prize and they weren't my customer, their prize was always a Shakeology sample. Always. That's a little tip. So they get to try it. Or a shaker cup or something Beachbody related if they weren't a customer. If they were not a customer and they won the monthly prize, guess what their prize was? A program. Because they're going to start doing it. So I'd give them the 21-day fix or, whatever program I had on hand then or ordered. And so they were part of the group. They saw the results. And when they're in there and they see the result, They'll want it. They'll want it. They'll eventually buy into it. They're interested. They're just a little hesitant, I would say. Okay, Laura said, how do you respond? And then we're back to Carrie's question. I always say that I'm free. Me, your personal coach that's here to answer all of your questions and help you and support you and motivate you. I'm free. You get me for free. I run these groups. That's all free. The only thing you're paying for is your program and your Shakeology that you're going to eat as a meal every single day. I'm not going to get a trainer for free. Angie has a question.
Just when you let people in for free, because I tend to do that too, but my only thing that I run into is sometimes they talk about other protein powders or...
I would be really upfront with them. I don't have that problem anymore, but I did a little bit in the beginning. And I think I posted a response the other day. Somebody asked about this in the team page, but just be upfront if you know that they're drinking. And I think this is one of the questions too. So I'll touch on it. If they're drinking isogenics or, they're following Weight Watchers or Herbalife or one of the others, just say, my group, I'm a Beachbody coach. I'd love to have you in the group, but please, if you can just post your shake, don't say what it is. You know what I mean? Don't say it's isogenics or whatever. And then have their conversation about why Shakeology is so much better. So get educated on that. And you guys, getting educated on Shakeology is really important. There's, oh my gosh, what is her name? I'm trying to blank. I'll find out her name. She's a coach that is like the Shakeology guru. And on her YouTube channel, there's so much, Lindsay Stay maybe, but don't quote me on that. She has so much information for you on that. And being educated is really important because you are going to get some backlash on Shakeology. Okay, how do you respond when they are already on isogenic shakes but want to be in your group? Okay, that was Laura. And only a workout program or no Shakeology. Do you make Shakeology a must for your groups? No, I don't. Like I said, when I first started out, I ran groups that were just accountability groups that were free for probably about 3 or 4 months. And I had a lot. I still hit SC10 from the moment I became a coach because the conversations I would have with those people who were interested, even if they were doing other programs, they usually would end up purchasing, at least half of them. And so then the other ones, like I said, would eventually convert over. And so it was kind of just building as I went along because they were in my group and then they would become a customer the following month. And then after like 3 or 4 months, I got to the point that I believed so much in these products and I saw so many customers that were coming into this and not doing the programs and not getting results. And the people that were doing the programs were getting the results. I think what I did at that point was I said I was going to run a 21-day fix only group. And so either they were going to buy the 21-day fix or they were going to get out. And I think I offered them, I would run another account. I said, I'm going to separate you out and I'm going to run a separate accountability group for the people that don't want to do the programs. And I did that for about 2 weeks. And I remember I was mad because I felt like I was doing so much work for these people and buying prizes and tallying points. That's when I used to tally points, which I advise against. And I finally said, I was like, you know what? I went into the group and I made a little video, I think, and I recorded it and posted it. And I just said to them, I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave this group open for you guys. Be accountable. Because they didn't even want me, those people. They just wanted to be accountable to themselves. They didn't care what I was posting. They didn't care I was commenting on their stuff. Like those were the people I just had and they had to bless and release. So I said, I'm gonna leave the group open for the next 2 weeks for you guys. Like go ahead and post, but I'm gonna run my group over there with my customers that are committed and getting results. And if you wanna be part of it, let me know. And guess what? I sold 4 challenge packs that week. Okay? So you have to realize that what you are providing to people is of value and they do want it. And it has a value. So, and you're part of the deal with the challenge pack and the groups and the accountability. So it's scary. I was really, really scared to do it, but it worked. And some of those people were customers, some still are. Shakeology people for like over a year, every single month ordering. So sometimes you have to be okay to say, and again, it's that confidence at knowing that if they're going to do this, they'll get results. Okay. But still, I do my groups now, I do require people to be a customer in some way, whether they want a challenge pack or they want a program only, or if they have other Beachbody programs. But I do require, if they have other Beachbody programs, that they transfer me to be their coach. And I always make sure that that's not weird and I'm not stealing somebody's customer. But most of the time they have the programs and they don't have the support of a coach. So I say, as long as you transfer, over to me, you can be part of my group. And again, they end up buying another program at some time or going on Shakeology or whatever. So it always kind of ends up being okay. Okay, Rochelle said, how do you follow up with friends once sending them the link to purchase? So you want to make sure you're having all of these conversations we talked about before you're even sending them the link. So once I get, and I didn't really touch on this, and you'll see it in the templates, but once I get them to the point that they're like, okay, I want to do it, how much is it? And I even say in some of my, a lot of people say, well, what's included or what's the price? And at that point, I give them the price and I list, bullet point, everything that they're getting. Everything, which is a lot of stuff. Program, containers, 30 days of nutrient-dense meals with Shakeology, one-on-one support from me, accountability group, t-shirt for completing your program, access, 30 days access to Beachbody on demand. Like all that, I list it all out. So it's like they're getting so much for their money. Here it all is. If you're ready to move forward, let me know, and I'll send you the details on how to order. So I literally make them say yes before I'm like, here it is on how to order. Then they'll write back, okay, I'm ready to order. And then I literally lay it out again, step by step. Go to website, clickable. Click on challenge packs, select your challenge pack, 21-day fix. Like you got to break it down for people. Select you log in if they don't have, set up your Beachbody account. Pick your Shakeology flavor. Everything. And you might have to enter a customer and go through the process on your website to make sure you're not missing anything and you have all those steps. Now, let's say you do all that and they haven't responded and they haven't ordered. I usually wait 2 days. That's enough. And I just shoot it a little message. Hey, lady, just want to follow up with you and see if you have any questions or concerns. I'm happy to answer them. Challenge group is starting in a week. I want to make sure you get your stuff in time to start with us. Or if it's getting closer to the challenge group date and they're not going to get their package in time, let me know as soon as you get your order in, and I'll send you over some information on how to get started on Beachbody on demand so you can jump in with your workouts right away before your containers and everything get there. So, just something that makes, again, you're like, hey, I'm here to help you. And then usually like, oh, I'm sorry, I've been so busy. I'm going to order tonight. Or they'll write back 2 days later and be like, I just ordered. It's done. So just following up in that non-salesy way. How do you follow up with details when people are interested in details about the accountability group? Do I open up the group to Beachbody? Okay, so do I open up the group to Beachbody challengers and others even if they don't purchase products since I'm a new coach? So yes, I think you do, starting out. You just be really sure that you're consistent with your posting about programs. I think it's really good to share before and afters. If you don't have any of your customers, there's lots of coach before and afters out there. Sharing your results. Like your challengers are not going to share their before and afters and post their sweaty selfies and show their food if you're not. So like post your meals. I remember I felt like I spent so much time in my challenge groups when I was a new coach. I spent a lot less time there. I probably should go back to that. So yeah, I think we touched on all of those, Rochelle. And then Liz wanted me, this was not a question for her, but this is a question she wanted me to speak on because she knows that something came up. How do you handle price, time, and I'm not ready objections? So time, I kind of gave you that example before. They don't have time for it. And sometimes I'm kind of tough with people, you guys. Like, I didn't think I had time to be a Beachbody coach either 2 years ago. Like, I thought I was so busy and so much to do. And then all of a sudden I got all this stuff to do doing Beachbody, and I don't even know what the heck I was doing before. Like that I was so busy doing, I don't know what it was, but I thought I was busy. So it's all about making it a priority. And that's the same with your workouts. And I'm really straightforward with my customers when they start, that I'm like, listen, I need you to stick with this for 21 days. Most people start with 21-day fix or 30-day program. I want you to give it your all for 21 days. I want you to make time for it. If it means waking up earlier, if it's, whatever that is, we're going to make it a priority in our life, because you're going to see results after that time. And then you're going to be hooked. And then you're going to realize that this works. So I just totally lost my train of thought, because now my other daughter is in here painting her nails now. So yeah, that's the time objection. And sometimes people write back and they're like, I just can't make it work. And I'm like, you know what, then maybe now is not the right time. And that's totally okay. And so maybe that's kind of the not ready objection. I'm not ready. That's totally okay if you're not ready. I'm not going anywhere. I'm in this for the long haul. I run groups every month. When you are ready, I am ready to help you. So I always leave it out there. And then price objection. I think price objection really comes down to you really believing in the product. And so when it is $140, but when you're laying out everything they're getting, and then maybe you need to make some comparisons of what their gym membership is or what they're spending on their Starbucks every morning. And so sometimes there just has to be some sacrifice here. And again, if you go back to their problems, if they said that they need to lose 20 pounds or 50 pounds, like they're going to have to sacrifice some stuff, and maybe it means eating out. I mean, I know there's a lot of people, a lot of top coaches even had $0 and put their challenge pack on a credit card, and that was a stretch to make it happen. But they needed that for them. Like they needed something in their life to make themselves feel better, not even on the business side, but on the fitness and the health side. So, and we all know how this, the programs and the opportunity here as the business can really change your life on many levels. And then, there's a lot of people that recruit like crazy and get 30 coaches a month, and they sign a lot of discount coaches. I'm very selective on who I open the discount coach opportunity to right away. I don't want them to feel like I am trying to push that on them, but if I know them well enough to know that saving $20 a month would probably, be worth it to them, and it's going to be committed and stick with this, then yeah, just, hey, this is an option for you to save $20 a month. And if you have some friends that want to join you, you can get your Shakeology covered too, if they, are your customers. So it kind of opens up a whole nother conversation piece to have. So yeah, I think that's it for questions. Was anything, did I cover them all? Okay, do you guys have any other ones? That was it. Time, I'm not ready, price, I got all of them. So, I hope it was helpful for you guys. I'll post, I want you to go into like I said, those templates are there, so look at them and take some time. I've got some other ones that I can add to it. But like I said, they are in no sort of order, you guys, so I'm happy to share them with you. But they might not make sense to you. Like, it makes sense to me, and that's why I was saying do your Evernote the way that you that works best for you. Anybody else?
I have something, but it slipped, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm sure you'll get a message from me later.
That's totally fine. Totally fine. Well, thank you guys for taking an hour of your time. I'm sorry it went a little long, but I feel like we covered a lot of really good topics. And I will upload the recording as soon as we get off and get it onto the team page and share it with Megan so she can, or post it over and Uplift and Inspire too. So, all right. Thanks, guys. I'm going to go eat dinner now. It's 8 o'clock. Time for dinner. Bye.
Bye.